Here we go. George Kambosos and Devin Haney both make weight. It took Kambosos 2 tries. He said, it's the art of war. But is it? I don't know. We'll see how it goes on fight night. This is what I like to do. Official predictions. Official predictions. Now, if we want to count the Rolly prediction as a real prediction, because I was like, I didn't even want to make bets for it, we could do that. So on my playlist, I should be 7 right, 3 wrong. We're batting 700. Not great. Not as good as I'd like it to be, but we about to turn it around right now because Tyson Fury put that gypsy magic on me, but it has an expiration date and we have reached that. I am very confident in this pick. I'm very confident that George Kambosos is going to beat Devin Haney, and now Devin Haney has his fathers there, so there's no excuses. There's no asterisks. There's no reason for anybody to say that he lost other than he's just not better than George. Before I get deeper into this video, hit the thumbs up, sub, and notification bell. That way you get updated when I drop the newest content like this. With that being said, let's get into the prediction that's going to get me right back in the winner's seat, like George Kambosos is about to be. So how I look at this is like this. Devin Haney, he's got a very good jab. Although Devin Haney likes to wait a lot. You can see him wait. You can see him stick his arm out. Problem. He's never been in there with somebody like George Kambosos. And what I mean by that is, not only does Kambosos have a good jab that he used against Shelby, that he used against Bay, that he used against Tio, he's also very good at counterpunching. And whenever you're not chaining shots together, a bunch of combos, that's an issue. Especially when he knows how to step around, come under, and throw the left hook, which he loves to do. He loves to do it. And a left hook can be the sweet spot for a jab. A good jabber can get their face tore up by a left hook that is set up correctly, especially on the step around and slipping underneath and boop, hitting it. This is what I see. Devin Haney, he's going to come out very, 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 very cautious, I believe, in the first and second round. George Kambosos is going to take advantage of this because after about 40 seconds in the first round and Kambosos really starts to look at how Haney's throwing the 1 and the 2, he's going to start to move around him, lateral movement. He's going to get in on him and he's going to let his hands go. Oh, he can't do that. Devin Haney's too fast. Well, wait a minute. I remember a midget in JoJo Diaz landing shots on Devin Haney at will. Now, Devin Haney did get the better of him, did win the fight. It was convincing. However, if a 2-foot-tall JoJo Diaz can land shots on him, George Kambosos, who's taller, longer, and much faster, is definitely going to be able to do it. Whenever he gets in, he doesn't just do 1 or 2 shots. He lets his hands go like a machine gun. It's going to be repetitions. It's going to be 3, 4, 5 shots at a time. And here's the thing about it. Devin Haney's not known for his power, which is fine. You don't have to have power to win fights, but you do have to have power to knock people off of you. And Teofimo Lopez couldn't even do it. When Tio hit George Kambosos and hurt him, Kambosos would let his hands go in the pocket and outland Tio even after he got stung, even after his bell was wrong. He was still whop, 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 getting the better of the exchanges. Thus why he beat Tio in Tio's backyard. So again, from all aspects of this, I don't see how Devin Haney can win. Kambosos to me is just, whether people want to give him credit or not, the dude is very good. He's very good at what he does, and that's why I was so sure, like I'm so sure now, when he fought Tio, that he'll beat Haney now. Now, when I looked at the weigh-ins, I have to ask myself, George Kambosos did not make weight the first time. However, when I saw him come back 9 minutes later and make weight the second time, he didn't look that bad. He actually looked full of energy and all of that. After the weigh-ins, Devin Haney gave a press conference. He gave responses to an interviewer, and in that, his face looked a little emaciated. So I would say this, while Devin Haney is the constant professional, he doesn't miss weight. To me, It looks like, honestly, he might be outgrowing this weight class because this is the most sunken in I've seen his cheeks for this fight. Take that for what you want. But if he has truly gotten too big for the weight class, do guarantee that you're going to see it down the stretch where it's going to show the most. Although he is still really young, so it may not show it all. But I do believe if he gets undisputed, he does not need to defend these belts. He needs to move up. But I don't even think that's a choice or an option. I think he's going to get beat like Tio and then move up just like Tio. That's what George is going to do. George is just going to keep lining these guys up, beating them down, and making them go up to the next weight class and stay away from them. That's how I see that. But anyways, let me get back to the point. Like I was saying, George Kambosos not only has a very good jab that he can set up counter shots with or step around jabs, which Haney is best at, he's very good at ambushing you. And when he ambushes you, he gets off a lot of shots. Earlier in this video, I showed a clip of Mickey Bey getting knocked down. Whenever Bey got knocked down, he kind of was throwing. And even though Kambosos already had him to the floor, Kambosos still had enough awareness to slip right underneath it. The dude has got vision for days. He's like Tom Brady in the pocket. He can see the punches coming. He is highly underrated. And I'm not saying that Devin is a bad fighter, but what I'm saying is I don't believe Devin Haney has ever been in there with anybody like George Kambosos. And I think Kambosos, especially with Bey, has already seen very similar styles to what Devin Haney is going to bring. He's already seen it, and he's already beat it twice. Who's the two? Shelby and Bey. That's why I put them both there. I'm not saying they're Devin Haney. I'm not saying they're as good as Devin. But what I am saying is, stylistically, there are a lot of similarities. And George beat them in their backyards, whether it be in the UK or in America. Yes, they were split decisions, but again, they were in the backyards, just like Tio. Everybody knows that wasn't a split decision win against Tio. Should have been unanimous, but he was in his backyard. This time, he's not going to somebody's backyard. And all these people claiming that Haney's going to get robbed, I highly doubt it. If he does, I will be the first one to say that Haney got robbed, even if my prediction is right. But from all aspects of this, guys, I don't think Haney can beat him. I think after the second round, because I kind of go on tangents, you're just going to see Kambosos take over more and more. By the 8th or 9th round, you're going to see Haney's being very unsure of himself. He's going to be looking very clueless, not knowing what to do. He's going to get hit more in this fight than he's ever been hit, and he's not used to getting hit. And when he gets hit, he doesn't really have the best response. See, guys who are as technically good as Devin Haney are great while they're great. But when they're not great, a lot of times these guys fall apart. They lose all composure. They don't know what to do because they're put into a circumstance that they ain't never had to been put in before. And that's what George is going to do to him. He's going to put him in the pocket. He's going to keep him in the pocket, and he's going to unload on him. And the thing is, I don't believe Devin Haney has the power, the pop, or anything to keep him off of him. He's got the little singular 1 and 2s that he does. I don't even think Haney's foot movement is as good as people make it out to be. He's not Shakur Stevenson. Shakur can move. Haney is more flat-footed with his movement, in my opinion. Y'all can disagree, but let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I'm running out of time on the clips behind me, so I'm going to end it here. George Kambosos wins. UD. Just know that this is a re-upload because they struck my video down. Even though people can do whole clips, I do the same thing, but different, and I get flagged. Makes no fucking sense. I'm about to start fighting this shit legally.